Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Crack It, episode 3. My name is Phil, and today my sidekick,
Carlo.
Yes, hello Carlo. Today's topic is going to be design diaries from concept to creation. We're going to talk a little bit about how we start designing any product. It's mainly Carlo's heavy load here, but also I'm involved in creating and as well as conception when I create campaigns or strategies for marketing. So we're just going to share our experiences a little bit. And blank canvas, worst nightmare for a designer, right? So how to start? Usually what I do, maybe you can follow me up on that.
Yes.
I try to understand, like we did in the previous episode, about the user experience and user journey. What is the problem of a customer or the target audience? That brings me to two questions. What is the target audience? And what is the problem we are trying to solve here? It does not help if I just become creative and I draw or sketch stuff out. I need to actually have a function design. When I do that, I usually try to get inspiration on Dribble or Behance, or if I'm just lazy, I just type in on Google, UI, I don't know, inspiration, and I check what other people do. Sometimes when I find a website, especially in the UI, like this is my area where I design stuff, I find a website out of a coincidence. I always bookmark them for, hey, this part was good or that part was good. So Carlo, how do you start? Do you cover me up on Dribble and Behance, or what's your witchcraft that you use here?
Well, this is really good because, I'm the kind of person that, as most of, I would say, UI designer, when they try to find inspirations, go on this kind of platform like Dribble, on Behance, or stuff like that. I would say there is a real big, I would say, misconception about those platforms, which is what exactly they are communicating, right? Because Dribbles, again, is born, like also Behance, is born as a place where to share design or where to share pictures or illustrations. And the thing is, nowadays, a lot of designers, and me too, go there to take inspiration. But the part that actually I take as inspiration is just pure UI, color combinations, or I don't know, how they use a specific shadow, or for example, I would say micro interactions, like for example, on, I don't know, the swipe, or I don't know, a button that can have funny animation or something that,
Right.
But the problem, I would say, about these platforms for a product designer is that I would say 90% of the things that you find on those platform are not real use cases, are just make for the pure sake of doing
aesthetics, basically.
aesthetics things, right?
Right.
And the problem is that there is a lot of network, mainly on Dribble, and a lot of designers take, actually, if they are proficient, and as all social media, if you're proficient and you are good enough to put, I don't want to say every day, but every 2 to 3 days, some new shit on Dribble, there is someone that will come to you, ask for a collaboration. They will ask to make their new website, or to make a new, I don't know, dashboard for their product. The thing that really the customer should understand is that going on those platforms, they really should be really aware that most of the people, again, are there only to show up their UI skills,
Right.
replicating what is already there since years, right?
Just in a different color palette or something, right?
Or, I don't know, they change. There was this trends about neomorphic design, and then glassmorphism, right? All this kind of stuff, but the concept behind are always the same. And people that goes on that platform and contact, designers, they really should understand if they are really UX designer and product designer and not only UI designer. Because
Right.
the real problem, again, is that 90% of the time you will find just a good UI designer that when you bring it into a team, starting to, asking to solve a problem, they are not able to, right?
But it's a different thinking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
One thing is be really good at, pairing fonts or pairing, colors or using the right space, right? Which again, as we said in the previous episode, it's the UI is only one part of the umbrella of user experience. And again, in product design, user experience is super important. And I'm the kind of guy that I'm not a pixel perfect guy, right? And I like it in this way for the simple reason that I prefer to test and run, right? So I test what I'm doing, and I have to understand, and I run again to, do my modifications and test again, right? Because it's the only way you can really improve an experience and the product. And again, I think one of the main takeaway about this big social media for design is that really customers should be careful about who they select.
I agree with you. And it's a very important point that you just mentioned, because I used to work with companies that have a massively large website. It looks a little bit like of age, because I think it was like fabricated, I don't know, in 2012 or something, still looks the same. And then they had like a new CEO, and he was all like, yeah, I want to have it look fancy and stuff. And he wanted to create or develop a completely new website just because it didn't look so well. And I told him, hey, stop. The design, yes, but you do not sell with the design. The design is kind of like the glazing on the cake, if the client or it does help, but you're not going to make gazillion of euros or dollars just because you have a fancy ass website, right? Or app. What is more important is really that invisible part, that UX, that user journey, like how, and that actually starts way off the visual part. How do the clients actually come to your website, and how do they get to your cash cow, basically? Where do you make money with, and how fast do they get there? So to kind of funnel them in. And I think that's an aspect that a lot of people forget to take into consideration. And I'm happy that you mentioned that, like on Dribble, that a lot of people are just like flexing their design skills. Yes, they do. And I mean, it's a great resource to get inspiration if you want to. For example, I once needed to arrange like a blog, but the blog not as it came out of the template, but a little bit different. So I go there and check like certain blog designs. Like, okay, they do solve problems there, but it's like micro problems. It's like in my microcosmos, because my problem right now is like, how am I arranging an uneven number of blog articles, If it's 8, I can make 4, 4, 4. If it's 6, perfect, 3 and 3, or 2 and 2, whatever. But if it's 7, 5, 9, yeah, 9 is okay too. But like these stupid numbers that just like at the end you have a leftover on the third or fourth row, that bugs me so it's terribly. And that's a great resource for solving my problems. But again, I think what you have to be doing, sometimes it's complete bullshit, as you just said. Like I go there, and then you have like that very nice swiping and effects, or also when you check templates, sometimes they have all these nice animations, and I just think turn them all off, because nobody cares about that. It makes the website load very slow, and the interactions are also not helpful in your business. And that's definitely a part of what you have to consider, especially also if you're ready to spend a lot of money on something, And it's kind of a shame that sometimes it's not really seen, but I think you have to be in the field to actually realize that, okay, it looks nice, but it's not solving it. So back to this company that I told you with this old school looking website, I told them, hey, before we actually change something here in the design, or we just throw everything into the dumpster and start new, maybe let's just test the user experience. Because right now we have a working website that gets like 1,500 to 2,000 people or visitors. So it's a lot of traffic per day. And why don't we just split test that first? Like, okay, we know people want to buy this product. What if we just change the navigation points in the menu? Okay, then we take our learnings out of it. And then we can shift to something else. And that's again, like just as a connection to what we spoke in the previous episode, it's just this split testing is so elementary. And I think you should have this kind of this path written down, kind of like an algorithm. Okay, user comes in, when then this flow starts, then he goes there, he puts something into the cart, what now? And then how can I create an upsell to another product, for example? Is something popping up, or is he going into a sales queue and like, this is now 90% down only for 10 minutes and blah, 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 Well, but that's the marketing me again, like coming in. But I guess as a UX designer, you definitely have to consider that. And if you just make fancy designs, it's just you're not gonna make money out of it. And the worst is when I see print designers creating a website, because then it looks like a catalog that is printed. And it's not to forget that design that is for print, that works, but on print, because it has another entry point for the customer, right? And whatever works online with digital products does not necessarily work in print. Exactly. And that actually brings me to a story, because I used to be in an agency where we also did offline marketing. So we actually sometimes we prepared newspaper ads, and I created it, and I made it on purpose ultra ugly. Because let's face it, if you have a page with 10 ads in there, yours has to stand out. And by just looking very smooth and nice, you don't stand out, because people don't see it. If you make it just, I don't know, neon red with like huge letters or something, that actually jumps in your face. But then again, on the website, it doesn't work. And my supervisor was then saying like, hey, this looks terrible and stuff. And I was like, hey, but you cannot apply UI, I call it UI now, to offline kind of. It does not necessarily work. So he did the ad himself, and it did so underperform that I was just kind of like laughing a little bit for myself. I was like, yeah, I kind of told you so. But yeah, there's definitely aspects that you have to consider. And
yes,
again, like I like to get design inspiration, but yeah, more often than not, I get blinded by these nice designs, and I don't really think in like, is it really solving a problem? But yeah, what would you recommend to, for example, if I'm trying to hire a designer that I know, okay, he will understand also the user experience and the customer journey. Like, how can I find such a person, for example?
Well, I can tell you this is really simple, because if you have a problem to solve And I mean, if again, I talk always about products and not website, because products is my field, but can be applied anyway. You can find a person that is good for you if they can prove that what they stand for, right? I mean, you can give them like a super simple thing to do, or ask the right question on how they would solve a specific problem. And if you see that they are confident enough in what they are saying, I think that most of the time they can definitely be the right person. Obviously, again, you have to understand also the background of the person, how much experience they have, and and returning back to the point of finding people on these platforms just because they have fancy design, sometimes is not the right way to go. So never just go and contact them. Okay, I like what you do. I have a new application to do. I have the idea. Can you do it? Yeah, of course they tell you yes, I can do it. But most of the time they don't even start to think about, okay, what are the problems that we're solving, right? Because the client might come with an idea, and after they realize that actually the idea was completely wrong, and they could have been solved something much bigger than this, or maybe something else completely different. And I can tell you this with one of the project that I'm working with on today, which is basically manufacturing platform. It's actually a startup company, and we are building this SaaS product that should help basically manufacturer in US to get leads and be discovered, and find connection between seller and buyer, right? So really be this platform should be basically the connection, right, between those two worlds, right? And in manufacturing, I can say I don't know, a stupid thing, but I don't know. There is a company that needs new screwdriver, right? And who is going to do the metallic part? Who is going to do the handle, right? So they needs this manufacturer that have supply chain to actually create those two pieces and put them together, right?
Right.
And actually here, basically what we are trying to solve with this product is really to create a sort of connection, a real connection between, again, buyers and suppliers, because the real problem of US is that maybe the suppliers in your, I don't know, city, or like the city after yours, but you never have the possibility maybe to communicate with the other buyers or suppliers that are, I don't know, in 5,000 I don't know, 5,000 no, but 500 kilometers from you, or 1,000 kilometers from you, right? And yeah, it's we are trying to solve this issue, and we are putting inside something like, I don't know, a chat experience, for example, because one of the main pain points of these people is that they used to work with Excel file with spreadsheet with their list of manufacturer, And they keep updated this spreadsheet, right? And there is a lot of work when you are a big company and you have 300 suppliers that makes a lot of pieces for you and track all this, and you have to track NDAs, and you have to track a lot of stuff, right? And the platform actually is trying to solve this problem. And at the beginning of the project, I had the problem of not having really clear what the platform should do.
Oh, okay.
At the beginning was just okay. Let's create a new search tool for manufacturer. It
Right.
actually already exists in US, and there is a lot of junk data inside, but still, it's there. And after almost 2 years, basically, we started really when we changed a lot of people, internal people, vice president of product, etc. We started to do what is a real product flow, which is going out to the people, asking the right question. What is your pain points? How can we solve these problems, right?
Right.
And we do interviews every week, every 2 weeks. We interview people. We try to understand again what are the pain points, how they manage suppliers, how they manage NDAs, etc. And it's beautiful because you understand that everywhere, basically, in the manufacturing system in US, they always use just an Excel file to do this, right? And they store, I don't know, NDAs into their computers, right? And
Wow.
they what they do is just exchanging emails, right? Oh, they contact the manufacturer and say, okay, I need this piece. How much it costs? Send me a quote, and that's it. And the idea behind this is really to merge everything to solve this problem into a unique platform, right? So, which
Right.
is really taking by hands the two sides, so the buyers and suppliers, and communicate through the application with a complete set of feature that makes their journey smooth, right? So they don't have to, go on the email, send the email, or go in the spreadsheet and update the spreadsheet. Oh, I contacted this or not. So this kind of stuff, right? So everything should be automated, and here's where product design really can help a company to create a product that again resonates to the clients.
That's basically not just imagining how I'm going to arrange all that data that it looks nice and that it's easy to understand, but also I think you have to make a lot of research to actually fully understand this case and even
Yes.
get out of your comfort zone, so to say, and maybe just talk to the people like, okay, guys, look, we are trying to fix this issue. What issues do you have on your side as a supplier? And what issues do you have as a receiver, basically? And so again, you would not go for the guy or the lady with the nicest design. You would maybe just, does it maybe help if I would be looking, okay, he makes or she makes designs in the majority in a certain branch of industry. So is that an indicator for me? Like, if I see a couple of designs about financial products, okay, she or he is more in the financial area, so they could probably understand it a bit
Yeah,
better, or
I think this, and again, this is my opinion, and I know a lot of designer and other project manager are not really of the same idea, but in my opinion, again, and for my experience, yes, it helps to solve faster some problem. But I can tell you, after I would say again 13 years of experience in this industry, doing product design, the problems that you're going to solve are always the same, no matter the industry.
Okay.
right? So in terms, I mean, in terms of user experience and interaction, obviously, the goal of, I don't know, a doctor working in the hospital is completely different of the goal of, I don't know, again, a manufacturer into a factory, right? But in terms of design and finding um, the design solution are always the same. And it's important to understand also that using patterns and using user interfaces and interaction that people is used to use
Mhm.
is basically, I would say, 70% of the success of your application. So
So
you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
right, I just wanted to
Never.
say that, yeah.
Never, because some stuff becomes so natural for people that they feel confident if they see the same patterns that they know in your application.
Right, I know
Because
instantly how to use it, right?
exactly, and this brings to happiness, and this brings to saying having this wow factor where the users say, oh wow, that's exactly how I would do it, right?
Right,
So if you can achieve this in your product, and you can start to see even in interviews those wow effect, I would say that is not the wow effect of, oh wow, there is a super cool animation, or wow, is
right,
returning back to this example of the manufacturers, right? Oh wow, now I know that I can upload an NDA with this person, and yeah, wow, I would do it in this way. How you did it, right?
right,
And this is the moment in which you realize that the work and maybe the past experience that you had in other industries already solved a problem for them. And again, um, people that a lot of people shows up on this platform like Dribble, Behance, etc., doing super cool and fancy stuff that at the end of the day, when you try to involve them into a real team, you know,
only
they don't really
only then you
perform.
see, yeah. Okay, so just to sum this topic up, it's
Yes.
basically you would say that it's definitely important to have an interview with. I mean, I think it's okay if you see some work of somebody that you like visually, but don't just hire them blindly. Maybe have an extended talk to them on how they solve problems. Is that correct? And you
Yes.
would, as I heard out of what you just said, it makes sense to also go for certain years of experience, because once you have more experience, you probably solve more issues, meaning you have a bigger toolbox of solutions that you can apply, because certain things,
Yes.
as you just said, like it doesn't have to be a problem of one industry. If you solved it in the construction, it would maybe also work in the banking
Yes.
system, for example, right?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely. And this again, it almost apply on product design, because obviously, again, if you have to create a website for, I don't know, NFT, that is really now one of the trends, in the latest couple of years.
Everything is NFT, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
everybody has on their portfolio on Dribble an NFT website, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I mean, I can do it too, and that's fine. I can say I'm able to do it, but I'm not really solving the problem. And as
Right.
a customer, if I have to do just a website, yeah, you can pick the one that has the style that you like most, right? One can be more profitable with the designs with gradients. One is more minimal, one is more, I don't know, font based approach, right, with all this big fonts and stuff. And it depends on your pure taste. And again, for product design, is quite different.
Nice. So we drifted away a little bit from the design part, but I really liked it because, yeah, I'm always a little bit critical with Dribble and Behance because what we just talked to in the opening part of this episode, that it's not everything is gold that's shiny. And I think especially if you are really, or let's say if you really want to make money, you need to consider this experience that you want to deliver to a person, because there's so many products out there. They're just interchangeable. But if you're one of 100, but you just have the better flow, people are lazy. They're going to stick with you, right? So if it's natural, if you don't have the burger menu on the top and in the top right corner, people know it's there. It's the menu, for example. It's not on the lower left corner.
Exactly.
It's like small things. Again, don't reinvent the wheel and just go with what's out there, go with what has proven. And once you have this product, we get back to split testing, right? So you can maybe just for fun, like, let's see if our clients are unsubscribing if you move the burger menu on the lower left corner.
Exactly.
If they do, we know, right? So
exactly. And if I can suggest for people that is listening, for example, there is one of the website that I always use to take inspiration when I need inspiration for user flows, which is mobbin.com.
Oh yeah,
is
it's 2B or 3B, right? Mobbin, I think.
Mobbin.com or something like that.
I think it has a couple of B's
every
like
day.
Dribble.
Yeah. And mobbin.com, it's cool because actually it takes the flows from application, web application or mobile application that are online and has been tested, that has a brand behind, right? So you can find, I don't know, the onboarding flow for, I don't know, Shopify, or the onboarding flow for Wise, which is the home banking that we said before, and all this kind of stuff, right? So it has been already proven, has been already tested. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just go there and just copy. Do the same.
Get inspired. That's what they say. Get
Well,
copy inspired.
yeah, exactly. Well, the flow is actually, again, in my opinion, should really be a sort of copy paste
Right.
or something that has been already tested, because
there's no
really
trademark rights on it anyway, so
exactly.
nobody is gonna.
Likely.
I don't think that Apple is coming and saying like, "Hey, you stole our user flow for selling your orange juice." I think nobody cares, right?
Exactly.
Thank you very much. And I think we all know, if you go to Dribble, we can look at it, but just look behind the scenes, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a chat with the guys. And as far as I know, most of the designers are anyway very open-minded to just like hop on a call and like maybe discuss a problem solving. And I think that's where it starts. That's what I do as well when I have clients coming for marketing. Oops, that's my dog if you hear him. Yeah, I also, first of all, I need to just talk and get clear what's the issue that I'm trying to solve, or just understanding the business is very important. On always, basically, I always try to understand the business almost as good as the CEO of the company, because I need to be able to communicating out there, as well as a UX or a UI designer or a product designer needs to be extremely sure what the business does to solve the pain points. So
exactly.
wear the hats. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening again, and hope to see you on the next episode of Let's Crack It.
Yes.
All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.